Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, always. Okay.
Okay, we will begin the public hearing for July 11th, 2023 for the Board of County Commissioners. Could we please have roll call?
Commissioner Henry?
Here.
Commissioner Tedesco?
Here.
Commissioner Baca?
Here.
Commissioner Odericio?
Here. I'd ask
Commissioner-
sorry.
Commissioner Pinter?
If everyone would please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the republic, one nation, indivisible.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Do we have the little thingy?
Hit active item on the bottom.
Nope.
Active.
Yeah. For the vote.
Got it.
I don't have
Did you
it.
click the motion? That's why.
Well, I don't have it up at all.
Okay.
It's not up.
Okay.
You said just a second.
Yeah, we'll do it verbally.
Okay, so I second.
Who did the first? I'm sorry.
Lynn
I did.
Baca has a
Thank you.
motion, and it's seconded by Eva Henry.
Commissioner Baca?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Commissioner Odericio?
Yes.
Commissioner Tedesco?
Yes.
So that passes 4-0.
Sure. We're going to move on to awards and presentations. And today, we're going to be discussing National Disability Pride Month. In a world that values diversity and inclusivity, it's crucial that we acknowledge and honor the experiences and contributions of individuals with disabilities. We believe in unity and acceptance, which leads us to recognize the unique strengths and the resilience of those living with disabilities. With great pride and commitment, we declare that a celebration of National Disability Pride Month. Now, let's read the proclamation. Commissioner Baca.
Thank you, Chair. It says National Disability Pride Month, July 2023. Whereas in July, Americans observe National Disability Pride Month by paying recognition to the American with Disabilities Act, ADA law, that helps provide protection to individuals to create equal opportunities in all aspects of life. And whereas approximately 61 million individuals in the United States have a disability, which calculates to 1 in 4 adults. And whereas on July 26, 1990, the ADA was signed into law by President George H.W. Bush. And whereas the first Disability Pride celebration took place in New York in 2015, 25 years after the law was passed. And whereas to help increase education for disability pride awareness, a flag was designed by Anne Magill in 2019. The original design was created with insight from the disability community to highlight everyday challenges. The layout of the flag is 5 diagonal stripes of different colors on a black background. The black field mourns the victims of violence and abuse against persons with disabilities. The diagonal suggests cutting across barriers that separate the disabled from society. The flag's 5 colors represent different types of disabilities: red for physical, gold for neurodivergence, white for invisible and undiagnosed, blue for psychiatric, and green for sensory. And whereas Positivity Disability, an Adams County employee-led affinity group, provides a safe and welcoming environment to foster support, awareness, education, and advocacy in and around the disability community. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the County of Adams, State of Colorado proclaims July 2023 as National Disability Pride Month and encourages all residents to honor the multitudes of skills and talents of people with disabilities and the important impact they have on our society. And this is signed by all of the county.
Thank you, Commissioner Baca. Are there any comment? We don't have anyone here to speak on staff on behalf of this matter, so any comments from the commissioners? No? All right. Well, I will say we're very proud to be able to continue to expand our efforts to recognize and celebrate different folks in our community and within our organization. So thank you all for participating and as we celebrate National Disability Pride Month. Moving on to public comment. Do we have anyone signed up for public comment?
No, there's nobody for public comment.
And is there anyone in the audience that did not sign up for public comment but would still like to speak? See no one coming down. Moving on to county commissioner communications. Is there any county commissioner that would like to speak? No high verbal needs, as Eva Henry would say. Moving on then, do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
Chair, I would move to approve the consent calendar, but I'd like to amend by removing L for further discussion under county manager.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve the consent calendar with the change to move item L down to county manager new business. We have that motion
Second.
and we have a second. All in favor? Well, I'll just go. Are we doing this?
It
It
did
is
come up,
working.
yeah.
There you go. Thank you. All right, that, let me see. I'm assuming that passes. Okay, then we're gonna move on. County manager, new business.
Yeah, we'll take up the first item, item L from consent. It is a resolution approving an agreement between Adams County and Axon Enterprise Incorporated in the amount of $2,006,574 for tasers for the Sheriff's Office Amendment 2023.500.
Okay.
Do we have questions or we
Commissioner
can?
Tedesco.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So yeah, I do have a few questions on this, and it's more for clarification and for public notice. I'm a little concerned about the cost, especially with the increase in cost. You know, I've had my questions about this over the past. The information that is provided isn't as detailed as I thought it would be. So maybe if I could ask the questions. One, I believe we only have around 600 members in the sheriff's office. The amount that is requested is over $2 million. Even if we divide that amount by, say, $500 per taser, that's 4,000 tasers. I'm a little concerned about what all is included in this. I'm also concerned about, not really concerned about this, but more inquisitive about this. What is our deployment practice? And is that for replacing after a deployment? Does that include that? What is the cost of a deployment? What is the cost of a single unit? What all is included in the unit as we are purchasing? All those questions I have, because this is a significant amount of money. And when I compare this to other things, such as in the consent calendar, let me make sure I word it right. The partnership, you know, where they come out with the police officer, and that's $200 and some thousand for that program, but yet it's over $2 million for a taser program. My cost justification isn't there. So I'm just trying to figure out if somebody could answer those questions. I'm not saying we don't need tasers. I'm not. It's just a cost justification because it doesn't make sense to me right now.
Sure, Commissioner, I can answer it, and some of the questions I would defer the kind of the manufacturer questions and the usage to the sheriff's office. I don't believe anybody is here because it was on consent, but if someone can speak to that, I would invite them to the podium. But the packet did not include the detail on the purchase overall, which is a 5-year replacement schedule. So the total number is just over $2 million, but the annual replacement amount is $401,314.76, and it stays at that number for 5 years. So it's a 5-year replacement for a total of $2 million. The unit cost is $4,135.20. So that's the unit cost, total cost, and then also the budgeted amount did go up by $206,000, I believe, because what was budgeted for 2023 was for a Taser 7 model, and this is a Taser 10 model, so there was a slight increase overall in the replacement also. So those are the details that I'm reading off of here in the purchase requisition sheet that goes along with this item. But in terms of the Taser specs and the usage by the sheriff's office, we'd have to defer to them for those questions.
So, say once again how much each Taser is,
$4,135.20 per Taser.
and they have to be replaced annually?
They have phased it out, so they don't replace it in one fell swoop. It is phased over 5 years at just over $400,000 per year. So they don't intend to buy these all at one time. There's a July replacement schedule that will run from now through 2027. So they'll be replacing a certain amount of Tasers over 5 years. So the contract is one contract, but the replacement schedule does span that 5-year period.
What is the lifespan of a Taser?
Yeah, I don't have that question offhand.
So if we have 600 employees plus in this sheriff's office, and we're allotting $400,000 a year for replacement, and it's $4,000 per Taser, that's a lot of Tasers to split up between 600 members, sheriffs. So are they unusable after they've been deployed? Or is this for a replacement after they've been deployed? Is it for maintenance? Is it for, I know I'm throwing a lot
Sure,
at you
sure.
at a public hearing, and I apologize for not bringing
that's
this
a good
before the hearing, but I didn't take the time over the weekend that I should have on these subjects.
No, that's fine.
That's
What
my
I-
fault.
No,
Is
what I
there a
would-
time constraint?
Do we have somebody here?
Yeah, but I already talked to him, and I
Oh,
don't think he has the
yeah, I don't think he's here for
information
that item.
that is needed. Is there a time constraint on getting this approved, or can we have some follow-up on it prior? Like I said, it's
Right.
not, the cost is what's really getting me on this.
Sure. That was gonna be my recommendation in my next comment, that we table this and bring it back next meeting. I don't know that a week will be a make or break.
Yeah.
But if we
'Cause
have
it-
questions to answer, we will bring it back next Tuesday.
Because what I didn't see is a comparison in bid and how much, are there other models? Are there other, what the justification is this?
Right.
So I know that we've done it in the past, and that's not my concern, but the jump in price and the numbers that have never really been justified, at least from my point of view, not from, I'm sure they have.
Right.
I just want to hear that before I am comfortable with that kind of an expenditure. Especially when we're looking at that other program, and that's $200,000 for a year, and it's, a lot of infrastructure goes with having that.
Yeah, you have some technical questions that would be best answered by the sheriff's office, and then also they can invite Axon. I know that they purchased this through a co-op program, so that's how they did the procurement process. But nonetheless, we can table this and bring it back next Tuesday. I think that'd be the best route.
Yeah, because my breaking down of the numbers probably isn't the exact way that they would break down the numbers, so.
Right, yeah, we'll bring the staff up here to help with these questions.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions for the county manager on this topic? Assuming that there's no complaints or objection, we will move this off of the calendar to be approved. And do we have a motion to continue this until next week?
You need a motion?
next week. I
Okay.
don't know what the date is for that.
We have a motion to move item L from the consent calendar to next week, which is July 18th, 2023. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. We'll all vote. That item, I'm assuming passed? Okay. All right, we will, moving on to item number 1 for new business county manager.
Yes, we have a couple of items this morning, Commissioners. The first is a resolution approving an agreement between Adams County and Michael Baker International Incorporated in the amount of $798,249 for the professional consulting services for the 120th Avenue Multimodal Corridor Study RFP 2023.203. Josh with Public Works is presenting the item.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
The 120th Avenue Multimodal Corridor Study will be a joint effort between Brighton and Commerce City to identify and prioritize projects on 120th Avenue from US 85 to Tower Road. These projects will improve safety, decrease traffic congestion, assess and mitigate environmental impacts, accommodate multimodal transportation, and improve community connectivity, public amenities such as schools, parks, and trails. Adams County was awarded grant funding to conduct this study in the amount of $720,000 in reimbursable expense and is committed to a local match of $80,000 in non-reimbursable expense. A formal request for proposal was solicited through BidNet. Proposals were opened on March 16, 2023, and 3 proposals were submitted. A selection team evaluated the proposals based on 5 evaluation criteria. After a thorough evaluation, Michael Baker International Incorporated was the most responsive and responsible proposer, providing the best value to Adams County. It is recommended that the Board of County Commissioners approve an agreement with Michael Baker International Incorporated to provide the 120th Avenue Multimodal Corridor Study in the not-to-exceed amount of $798,249. Thank you. Happy to answer questions.
Okay, any questions? I see none. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion to approve and a second. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Josh.
The second item is a resolution approving Amendment 1 to the agreement between Adams County and Wellpower in the amount of $207,607 for the Sheriff's Office Corresponder Pilot Program, Amendment 2023.514.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Laws from the Adams County Sheriff's Office. So in March of 2022, the Sheriff's Office entered an agreement for a co-responder program with the Mental Health Center of Denver. They have now changed their name to Wellpower, and so we're doing an amendment to the contract for the change of the name as well as some additional items. We're going to be purchasing ballistic vests from the Sheriff's Office on behalf of the co-responders, as well as getting new uniforms embroidered. And those items are to stay with the Sheriff's Office, so if a co-responder leaves, they'll return to the Sheriff's Office and then can be reissued to another co-responder. So the ask is for an additional services and a name change for $207,607 for a total price of $360,181,000, and it's an increase of $47,339.
Okay, do we have any questions? I do, I have a question. So this is what's the additional amount? The addition of 200, or it brings
The
us up to 200?
additional is actually just $47,339. That's going to be the additional operating budget that we're asking for. We originally asked for $160,000.
Right, and the 47 is for how many vests?
We're actually getting 4 vests because we are also asking for a second set of co-responders later this year.
Mm-hmm.
so that we can cover more of the day, so we'll have 4 vests to cover.
How much are vests each?
Depends on the vest, but they're usually around a couple $1,000 each.
You see why I ask is, let's say they're $2,000 or $3,000 each. Embroidery, I just don't understand how we're getting to 50,000. Normally, I would say, yeah, let's move on, but it's.
I think part of it is also in, the difference in payment for, going from the two people to enough stuff for 4 people. Because the original contract was originally for just the 2, and this will be the equipment for 4 people rather.
Okay, any questions? We have a motion to approve.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Amendment 1 between Adams County and Wellpower in the amount of $207,607.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All right, looking. We have the results? Okay, yes, all right, that passes.
Thank you.
Any other questions, or any other items for the county manager? Okay, county attorney?
Good morning, Commissioners. I would ask that we go into executive session today pursuant to Colorado Revised Statute 246402-4B for the purpose of receiving legal advice regarding employment contracts and legal services for the opioid council.
We have a motion to approve? In a second? Okay, that passes. I think that's it. We're adjourned.